Welcome back to Dusty Betty. My name is Tess, and in today's video, I want to start a conversation with you about fear. But first, it's time to talk to you about the crash I never told you guys about. Big thanks to some of my biggest supporters, my wonderful patrons. If you're interested in joining the patron team, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Fear is part of life, and it's a part of mountain biking. For some of us, it's actually a really big part of mountain biking. But before we discuss fear anymore, I think it's time to tell you guys about the crash that I never told you about from last fall. So a bunch of ladies were here in the fall, kind of in the days leading up to Rome Fest, and I had the chance to ride with an awesome group of ladies, just like some really well-known racers and women's mountain biking coaches and other women pretty high up in big mountain biking companies in the industry. And it was like the third time I'd been out riding that day, so I was a little tired, but I was excited because it was a really cool opportunity. So we headed up on Highline, we get up there, we start the descent, things are going pretty well, and going into one of the sections, it was a section that I had cleaned a couple times before, so I was feeling good about it. It's a drop, kind of like on a downhill pitch, and you can roll it, but it's just barely where you can roll it. You almost have to drop it. In fact, a lot of people do. And I was getting ready to roll it and was a little bit off my normal line, kind of got nervous, grabbed the brakes, a little too much back brake. I was skidding coming into it, not what you want to have going on a downhill drop, and I ended up somersaulting down the ledge, and I just kind of rolled out of it. My bike and I somersaulted. My bike flew through the air. I was like suddenly like, wow, I'm like laying down looking at the sky. I had a friend who was like, oh my gosh, Tess, don't move, are you okay? And I mean, everyone was amazing. For the rest of the ride, you know, I wasn't injured. I was maybe a little sore a couple days later, but I wasn't injured. I was feeling really, really lucky about that. I was also feeling a little bit embarrassed because of all the amazing ladies that were there who I look up to, but I mean, they were all super amazing about it and super supportive. And it left me pretty shook up, and in the moment I felt like pretty okay aside from some of those feelings, but I noticed in the weeks that followed, more and more of my riding experiences started to become very clouded with fear. Now, drama like this is usually YouTube gold, but I wasn't ready to talk about it. I just didn't want the pressure coming from social media to make it seem like I just need to march back up to Highline and conquer that section, and then I would be cured of all my fears. And I mean, I know that stuff is like really entertaining, but like that just wasn't what I needed at that moment. Because for me, it's not just about Highline and that experience on Highline. It's about how I navigate fear as a whole when I ride. And it's not like I never experienced fear before this happened, but it was definitely a major setback for me in my riding, and it's just made me want to examine my relationship with fear in general. Now, most of us have known someone who fared much, much worse than I did in a crash, and maybe some of you have even had some major crashes yourself. So I'm not sharing this to create drama and try to make a mountain out of a molehill. My goal in sharing this is more just to invite you into my headspace and help you tap into some of your own fearful experiences around mountain biking so that we can enter a conversation about fear together. Fear has kind of been the pink elephant in the room for me for a long time on this channel, but I'm ready to talk about it, and I hope that you guys are too. So stay tuned for more videos in this series. I'm learning a lot about fear, doing a lot of research, doing a lot of reading, talking to a lot of people. I'll be sharing a lot of the things that I've learned with you, and we'll also spend some time out on the trail. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments, so let me know if you have ever experienced fear hijacking your experience when you're riding your bike. Or maybe you're the type of person who feels pretty unfazed by fear, or maybe you're really good at just setting it aside so that you can do what you need to do. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you check out this other one because I think that you might enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Get dusty.